Hello guys and gals, me Mudahar, and today we're going to talk about what is effectively the biggest scam on YouTube that's still actually running. Now ladies and gentlemen, today's video comes at us from Ethan Klein, who actually claims to have $620,000 stolen from him. And the reason why this video is important to me is because I feel like everybody in YouTube, anybody that's made content, has went through the story. So what are we talking about today? We're talking about multi-channel networks. Now, because of litigious reasons, I'm not going to mention a specific company. In fact, I'm going to go over the entire MCN rabbit hole as a whole, okay? Because at the end of the day, multi-channel networks are the biggest scams on YouTube. And I'm surprised that they're still actually running. You know, a lot of people look at Ethan and are like, how do you get, like, scammed by an MCN? You're like one of the old guard. Here's a pro tip. Everybody that you've ever watched on YouTube, 99.9% of them have worked with a goddamn multi-channel network. So I'm going to give you some history. Way back in the early days of YouTube, when people were posting cat videos and angry video game reviews, the YouTube partner program was open to like 6 people max. Okay, we're talking Fred, we're talking like Ray William Johnson, we're talking some of the highest channels of the moment. This was like a direct to Google thing, okay? Nowadays, if you have, like 1,000 watch hours and like 10K subscribers, I don't remember the exact metric. I think it might be the other way around. You can apply for a YouTube partner program and you can get paid. You can gain access to a wide variety of features. But features back in the day were the most important thing. So shit like uploading videos longer than 10 minutes, okay? Which is most of my content, most of anybody's content nowadays, long form content over short form any day. So you upload videos longer than 10 minutes, which, again, these were features provided by YouTube to like every account over the years, but way early on. You also had custom thumbnails. Back in the day, believe it or not, YouTube videos, like creators mathematically had to figure out frames for where YouTube would grab like 3 videos, 3 frames out of your video and just put in like a JPEG file, a PNG file, so they can get the thumbnail they wanted by circumventing the system. Then, of course, you had a bunch of other features. Like, I remember live streaming was, like, one feature, like live events back in the day, where you had to, like, create an event on YouTube and you could, like, live stream and do all of that. These were features slowly rolled out. But back in the days of MCNs in their heyday, these were, like, the big features that they were touting. Now, the other thing was obviously getting paid. And in Ethan's case, he had an AdSense account from Israel, which meant that he could only operate in Israel, like, only get paid out to an Israeli account. And for him, it's like, okay, I'm in the United States. I'm going to get paid, all right? So I'm going to go through an MCN. They'll take my payment and they'll give me whatever. Now, I'll tell you right now, way early in my day, we're talking when I had like 1,000 subscribers. I had one MCN, like a tier 4 crap tier, nobody heard of them MCN, reach out to me over Skype, okay, over like YouTube emails. And they almost got me to sign a deal with them where I would give 40% of my channel revenue over to them. Now, obviously, I kind of laughed because we were making like 30 cents, a month, maybe like $5 if we were getting lucky. And I'm like, I ain't giving you 40% of that $5, all right? In 2 months' time, I'll be able to get myself a Popeyes 3-piece, okay? Ain't no motherfucking way I'm giving you 40% of the 3-piece of Popeyes that I'm getting out of that AdSense money. So yeah, basically it was just a giant scam. They would come at you and they would be like, we'll take 40%. Now, if your channel was big enough, okay, you could get like a 0%, meaning you kept 100% and they would get 0%. Now I'm gonna be like, but Muda, why would a company partner with you and get 0%? So I'm gonna explain how this works, okay? For a lot of YouTubers that don't have the size to get that 0%, you are effectively giving up a percentage of your channel's earning for fucking all, okay? These guys don't do shit for you. Usually in these emails, usually in the Skype calls, they'll be like, we'll get you into fancy events. And maybe they might get you to go to VidCon. They'll pay for your like $50 pass, which you could have done yourself. Usually they might say, we'll get you a brand deal. We'll get you working with Hollywood. Hollywood. Those people in Los Angeles. Woo! They would never get you a brand deal, okay? In my entire years ever working with any MCN, your boy was never getting a brand deal. But oh boy, would their lawyers be on your ass with flashlights, like the FBI is anytime somebody searches up nuclear. If you got an ad deal, they'd be like, where's our 5%? Where's our whatever, percentage out of it? So for anybody that doesn't know what a channel membership is, if you go to my channel, there will be a join button below. That's a channel membership. I don't usually push them because I'm not an active streamer. If I was, I probably would. but I don't really provide anything that's worth it. If you want to support the channel, you absolutely could. But generally, those are pretty cool direct revenues for a creator with their audience. Now, of course, Ethan Klein, amongst many other YouTubers, like here's Brody Fox, who's like, we have the same contract, 100% YouTube revenue with BBTV from 2017. Again, they're alleging that is the one company right there. Again, I'm not throwing out these allegations. These are highly litigious organizations. Again, I'll wait for the facts to come out before laying down the judgment. They've been taking 70% of our memberships as well. Didn't notice it since it's a small amount and we don't actively push it on our viewers. But I'd imagine other creators have been affected as well. So again, depending on how large your channel is, that 30% can be a lot. And depending on how small your channel is, that 30% can be the difference between you making rent, you eating, you getting that Popeyes 3-piece. I'm a little hungry right now for Popeyes if you can't tell. You also got Kavos here talking about like how he was with BBTV for 5 years. And then every month on the 15th, they would be getting paid for 5 years. And then of course, one day before payday, they told him that the payout was moved to the next month. Now, of course, if you're a YouTuber who's trying to make your rent checks every month and you're not trying to be delinquent on anything, I mean, imagine if you were paying taxes during tax season, which all of you probably should, if you don't want to deal with the IRS having flashlights up your ass too, then yeah, a month without any revenue can be absolutely detrimental. And of course, the protections that YouTube would provide, I don't think are necessarily enough. Now, to give you an idea of, again, how little of services that they provide, let me show you right here. So, for instance, when you sign a contract, YouTube will tell you these are legally binding, so make sure you make an informed decision. That literally means go get yourself a lawyer, okay? Most of these services will just not even tell you that. They'll be like, ah, here's a contract. Get a lawyer. Get a lawyer to read your contracts, okay? Pay a bit of cash, but get a lawyer to tell you exactly how bad you're getting fucked. That's important. So here, when it comes to strikes and takedowns, I remember when it came to MCN services, right? They'd be like, hey, if you have an issue with YouTube, we can help you out. We have direct connections, and they do. But of course, YouTube will tell you, no matter what, MCNs may be able to help you understand or resolve copyright claims, strikes, or a takedown on your channel. But they're not there to prevent them from happening, which obviously is true. I would say the first part of this is also a bit misleading because I've never met an MCN in my life that is ever able to help you out with some issue on your channel. Because they're already generating so many issues with them. Now again, is there a good MCN available, Mutahar? I'm sure there is, okay? Law of averages probably dictates there's probably one good egg out of 1,000 rotten ones. But finding that good egg may prove too tall of an order. So again, ladies and gentlemen, all these MCN services effectively provide these days is just nothing. They really don't. So I'm going to explain why the MCN still exist. See, MCN services work as sort of like these in-betweens from advertisers and like a lot of these big brands to you, the creator. At least they should. So if you ever go to an MCN website, this can be any single one of them. Very few of them will tell you how many channels they're working with. They'll be proud to tell you, we get this many views a month. Or we have this many subscribers across the board. So again, to explain to you, imagine if an MCN signs up 2,000 creators, right? Now, just by looking at the raw numbers on YouTube, 1% of the channels on YouTube are actually successful, and 1% of that 1% are actually making enough revenue to make content or break even on YouTube or make boatloads of cash. So when these guys sign 2,000 people on, 4 channels out of their 2,000 channels will have like over 1 million subscribers. And then every other channel in that list will have like 1,000 subscribers. So while they'll have 4 million like big subscriber channels, they'll have all these other 1,000 sub channels that they all amalgamate, and then they tell them, oh guys, we actually have like 15 million subscribers across the board. So then they'll go to another company like Adidas or fucking, whatever big brand out there like Nestle or whatever, and they'll be like, hey guys, we have 15 million subscribers, across the board that you can sell an ad to. And so these companies, they used to be like kind of swayed by it, but even they're smart enough to realize, oh, they're bullshitting. They're bullshitting us. And generally that's how they try to go for, okay? They'll tell them we have this many subscribers. They won't tell you the quality of the channels that are on their belt. And again, I'm not there to shame a channel for not having enough subscribers or views or whatever. I'm just here to tell you that the picture that these companies paint to big brands is oftentimes completely deceptive. And it's because of them painting this big brand that they'll be able to get big deals for some of their larger creators, abnormally larger deals maybe, They'll be able to skim off the top off of that, but they'll never be able to do something for the channels that have like 1,000 subscribers because they're not worth anything to them other than being a Lego piece in their very large operation. And again, that's not all MCNs, but I'm going to wager that's like 99.9% of them out there. And it's why, as a creator, if you ever get approached by an MCN company, take that shit to a lawyer, okay? Just so you can have a good laugh at how bad you're getting fisted. But there might be a chance they're providing you a service worth any value. That'll be very, very few and far between. For the most part, if you're a creator out there, do not be swayed by the fantasies that MCNs weave for you. Go directly with YouTube and learn to fend for yourself, okay? These guys will never help you. They'll be there for you when it comes to sign on your channel, but they'll be completely fucking missing when it comes to breaking away from their channels, all right? And again, I'm not listing any company specifically. I know Ethan has listed his grievances with BBTV. I'm not going to go into any mention of that because, you know, I've never worked with BBTV. I have no idea. I've never worked with any real MCN, you know, for the last several years of this, for the last few years of this point. You know, once I got completely detached from any MCN, never looked back, never decided to run after it. Never decided to chase the dream. Called it a day, uploaded on my own channel, and dealt with Google directly, which again isn't really a possibility for a lot of people, I know, but it is the best way, all right? And it is the only real way, in my opinion at least. Ladies and gentlemen, yeah, I can't believe this YouTube scam is still actually active. I figured that maybe YouTube will step out of it, but I think what I'm noticing here is, given the scale of money that's allegedly been stolen, this might be class action. This might be enough for YouTubers to band together and finally deliver a true fucking to these companies. So anyways, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think. I wanted to share the story with you because it's wild as hell that it still happens. But I am covering emulation tomorrow. I'm out.